Let's take you to Soweto, where the residents of Mapetla have blockaded about a kilometre stretch of Koma road. Motorists say they had to use alternative routes to get home. The residents are unhappy about inconsistent water supply and a lack of communication from authorities. For more, we speak to our reporter, Puseletso Mokoena, who's at the scene. Puseletso, very good evening to you. Clearly a lot of frustration there. What is happening?
Well, good evening to you, Mpo, and good evening to our viewers at home. We are currently in Mapetla in Soweto, as you have rightfully mentioned in your intro, that the residents are very angry over what we understand is prolonged water cuts. I'm just going to step out of the shot so that my camera colleague, Gaditabo, rather, can just show you around as to what is happening right now in this road. We are currently in Koma Road, which is one of the busiest roads here in Soweto. The JMPD members are here blocking the road just to ensure that motorists are not passing by, to ensure that their safety when they do drive. What we understand from the residents, Mpo, is that the problem began when they were informed that the Jabulani reservoir had developed cracks and would be repaired before the year 2025. But up until today, the reservoir is not yet fixed. And what we understand when we speak to the residents here, they are telling us that they've been experiencing inconsistent water supply from the past 3 years, but they have been getting the water tankers from they've been getting the water tankers, but we understand that it's been 6 days now without the water tankers. And also what they told me is that sometimes the water from the water tankers is not safe for consumption, and they also told me that even the schools around this area, Mpo, have been affected. But for that, I want to speak to them just to hear it from them themselves. With me right now, I have Abuti Tsepo, who's going to talk more about I don't know where is Abuti Tsepo, but Abuti, thank you so much for your time. We are live on SABC News. Can you briefly tell us what is happening with the water problem here in this area?
Good evening. It's been 3 years with this struggling with water. Our water comes for about 4 hours and goes. And then for the past 3 months, our taps has been dry. We've been living with JoJo tanks. We've been living with water tankers for the last 3 months. In the 3 months, water in the taps would come 2-3 hours, then go 2-3 hours and go. But for the past 7 days, we've never had water in our taps. We've been trying to communicate with Johannesburg Water with no response through our councillor. Today we went to Johannesburg Water with our councillor to complain about this issue, especially of water tankers, because now they are saying to us the contract of water tankers has not been paid. From Saturday we've not have water, not a single drop from the taps, not even a water tanker on the street. There's about 4 JoJo tanks here in our community in Block 1. They are empty. From Saturday, our JoJo tanks are empty. We have elderly people who have kids. We have kids who are going to school. We have a serious problem. We have a serious problem of water in Block 1.
And before we speak about the problem that even schools are facing with regards to water in this place, let's speak about the councillor. When you speak to him, what is happening? Is he, responding to you guys' messages?
We do speak to the councillor on a regular basis, especially me. I speak to the councillor on a regular basis about this issue. He would tell me that it's beyond his control. He's an employee of City of Johannesburg. He must report to the entity. When he reports to the entity does not respond. So even today we went to Johannesburg Water with the councillor. They told us the same problem, that they don't have capacity, the water tankers have not been paid. There's nothing they can do.
And Abuti Tsepo, we also understand that the water that you sometimes would get from the JoJo tanks are not safe for consumption.
I've received complaints about yellow water, about certain particles inside the water as soon as they get them from the water tankers. And I've observed several waters. And I've spoken to one supervisor from Joburg Water to say, guys, are you sanitizing your water tankers? And they said yes. And I said to him, but sometimes when trucks come, the water is yellow. I had to turn one truck away because when it comes, I'd usually say, tell me when the truck is here. I take a cup, go and test the water. If I see that the water is fine, then I release. But one truck I had to turn away and said, we don't want this truck here because the water was yellow.
And lastly, how can you say this has affected schools and the learners? Because you understand that they sometimes have to leave school early because there's no water and there's not even enough food at the feeding scheme in schools because of this issue of water.
You know, when it comes to schools, it's very painful because learners need to learn. And if there's no water at the school, it means that learners cannot go to bathroom. So it's affecting our learners going to bathroom because now toilets are blocked. Even today, the schools were out early. Toilets are blocked. There's no water to flush. There's no water to drink. So it's affecting the learners with their education. And coming to us as communities, we have elderly people who are taking chronic medication. So it's not affecting schools. It's also affecting us as community because we can't live without water. Water is a basic need. We need to drink water. We need to bath. What is Johannesburg saying about us? Are we not allowed to bath every day? It's not possible. It's not possible.
And I just want to speak to another resident here. I will see, how has this issue affected you as a resident here?
Yo haholo affectile haholo esenganyane re na le bana ba banyane ko jarateng le hona le bonkgono mo ba re phela le bona ba bo makhelwane ba kula hona le ba le bedridden so ba ka tlamele o hlatsuwe dintho tse ba robalang ka tsona because of now and then I get ba itshenyetse. So we've had enough really. The next thing ba batla go jwetsa ka reservoir is e crackling e crackela rona fela mo block 1 bomletsane jabulani a ba affect. So le hone ko Mapetla ko tlase still hona no ba etsa emba ba re fa di water tanker tsa bona tse fail tse re gotisang ha wa ntse go nametsa ko ateng letsatsi bo sane nje or bosiu o ka se robale o ka se robale ntho o tlo etsa eng metsi a teng di tankers tsa teng a ba di sterilize ba re tlela metsi a teng a le jwalo and then metsi a teng once a tshela mo ga bucket e transparent a yellow so we are at risk.
And if I can just go back to you, I just want you to reiterate the fact that today you had a meeting with the councillor, and just after the meeting, the water supply was back in the taps. I heard you speaking something like that.
We had a meeting with the councillor, as well as the Johannesburg water officials. Then when we came back to our area, the water was running for 45 minutes, straight 45 minutes.
Was it clean water?
Clean water, with enough pressure, normal pressure. After that, there was no water.
So what does this say? Does it say, is this something that is,
This is a sabotage. They're doing this intentional to make us suffer. And we know the strategy of our government. You see, now, next year we are going to vote. In coming months, we are going to have water because they'll start campaigning. We want to also to say to the mayor and the premier of Gauteng, come and assist us before it gets worse, because this is only the start. We are going to intensify and get worse more than this.
Well, there we have it, Mpo, from one of the resident Tshepo, essentially saying that this is only the start and they're still going to intensify just to ensure that their discrepancies are heard by the officials. And also saying something very important, that today they had a meeting with the councillor, and just after the meeting, the water from the taps was, the taps had enough running water with enough pressure at this time for 45 minutes. But just after 45 minutes, it was back to square one. And also saying that sometimes the water that they would get from the JoJo tanks that are being provided, it would be the water would be dirty and not safe for consumption, and this is affecting them. We will be sticking around here, Mpho, I think, and just to see what is happening moving forward, we will give an update to our viewers later on. Mpho?
Very well, Puseletso Mokoena, who is at the scene of Mapetla in Soweto, there giving us the latest as residents are saying enough is enough and they want water now. We will continue to bring you more from what comes from the streets of Mapetla.